action or something.
Yeah.
I'm Tori Milner, and I'm from the Iyengar Yoga Association of Greater New York here with Uday.
And I'm Susan Elena Esquivel from the Iyengar Yoga Center of Western Massachusetts.
I'm James Murphy from New York as well.
And we're so pleased to be here with Uday. And
Thank you. I thought I was going to introduce.
introduce yourself.
Then I'm happy to be with all these wonderful practitioners over here.
Yes, yeah.
Uday, what is your biggest challenge with teaching online? Like, what do you find the biggest challenge with that is? I mean, I know not being in person, you can't make the adjustments and all those things. You have to explain something you can't understand. But is there anything else that you see as a challenge with that, or a problem, or
challenge? I think the only thing which I miss about is as the class ends, it just ends. As in, it's as soon as I end the meeting, it's quiet.
No.
Which after in-person classes, there is some interaction. Like someone would come forward and say that, oh, this is the reason I was not doing this, or I experienced this, I experienced that. There is some exchange and there's some feedback, which cannot happen in this online medium. And that's why I keep on asking people if there's anything you can write to me. At least there is some mode or some means to communicate in that way. But personally, that is a bigger challenge, is what I feel, having that interaction afterwards, or even during the class. Even during the class, then people do write in the chat. At times they unmute and speak about something, so which is still fine. But at the end, then the class has to end. So that, what else? I think that is that is the first thing which comes to my mind. But otherwise, exactly, it's not being
basically you have the camera on. You have the camera on, and you teach there, and you come to the camera and teach. So you're not having to move the camera around. You're not having to do different things. It's just like there, and you've got that down, right?
Correct. And so that I feel is one of the benefits of this system, because no matter how many students we have, because if you have in a class, say 50 or 70 students, when you are showing something, you're perhaps trying to show a small movement adjustment with your shoulder. Where the students are standing, they'll have the perspective error, they'll have that distance where something is moving, but that precise movement is not visible. But here I can come close to the camera, and if I want to show the finger which way it has to move, palm, wrist, forearm, I can clearly show something here, which everyone is going to see the way I want them to see. So I feel that is one of the benefits of being able to show. And I think it has helped me with my practice as well, where I'm able to see what I'm showing. I'm able to demonstrate what particular action I'm talking about, but perhaps it's not happening with me. So I better work and get that action clear and then present it better. So this medium has helped me in that way, I would say, to be much more clearer and precise with what I want to say, what I want to show. And it has changed my practice in that way.
And I wondered, Uday, I know this is probably a little hard to answer, but James brought up a good point that I think happens a lot here in the US, in that you don't have consistent students. You know, like at the Institute, you sign up for a year. And when I used to study with Patricia in Boston, we had to sign up for the semester, right? And you were automatically enrolled for the next one, and it went on because you didn't want to lose your spot, right? And so nowadays here in the US, we have to have drop-in classes. And so you have different coming all the time. And what I find is really nice about your online classes as well is that it's a similar group of people. We've all kind of gotten to know each other, and then we also see each other in person because we go to like your retreat in Spain or whatever. And so there's it feels very different than it doesn't feel like a drop-in class. So can you speak a little bit to that whole, any advice for how we deal with, and how can we express to students, again, the importance of making a commitment to a class, and how the learning is different than if you drop in on occasion?
So that And so this is something which I had experienced before the pandemic, and this was a regular case until 2019, before the pandemic made us shut the classes. So regularly means the classes which I had in person, and until 2019, there were times when I had to pay the rent out of pocket because the number of students were missing. And uh, I was smiling because I remembered a funny situation where I was perplexed, as in those initial years where I was teaching, and the studio I was teaching at was a small one. The maximum capacity was, I think, 12 you could fit in that place. And for a couple of weeks, then I had started getting 8, 9 students. So I thought that's a good number. Now it's approaching the capacity of the class. So it's a good number. And then the next week, there were just 2. And then as I was conducting the class, in my mind, I was worried. I was thinking, have I said something which was offending, or have I done something which people haven't? I do take shower before coming to the class. What is it? And I was teaching, and then I just couldn't resist it. But I just ended up asking then one of the students, like, what do you think? What happened? Why has everyone disappeared? And then the student said that, oh, it's a half term. What is that? It's school half term. So still, what is that? I didn't know. When the school has a half term break, the kids are at home. So parents have to, one of the parents at least has to take care of the kids. Oh, okay. So that is the situation. So the irregularity in the numbers, no, this is a genuine reason which I later on realized,
You
which
can't take things so personally, Uday. You can't take things personally.
it did feel like that, though. I was literally questioning, what have I done or what have I said? And I was quite quite shocked for that moment, to be honest, there. Which is not the case in Pune, right? Pune, we don't have this half-term break, and those kind of breaks were not there. But then I feel, means how to get the students to commit and to get back is, I think, over a period they start realizing it, and perhaps having this option, if it is possible, where we can have regular, because I feel, means I may not be able to, I'm not perhaps giving you the clear, precise answer. I'm just expressing my thoughts on this. With the way things have changed, I feel even if I want to come to your class regularly, physically, perhaps it's not possible because of so many more commitments which are there in online meetings or whatnot, distractions. I think there are much more demands on our time in that way. So commuting, making that effort to commute and get there can perhaps feel a bit more demanding. So it has to happen. I'm not again saying that this can be an excuse and this should be an excuse. But if I'm regularly practicing with you in some ways, or with an online mode, and then I know that, okay, I have practiced, I have worked in this way, and there is something more which I can be achieving due to this continuity or due to what is happening. I feel personally I would be then more interested, or I would be looking forward to get there, if that is a possibility there. But otherwise, again, like as students, I think would realize, if this is not a possible mode and it's only in person that the classes are happening, obviously they will realize that if the break happens, it just disconnects, or it just becomes a much longer gap in between there. So somewhere maybe just keeping a track of that, being aware of that such gap is, it's not a good thing to have such gaps in between. We can continue with a regular practice, regular class, maybe more than once a week, if that is possibility. Then more than once a week, in different modes like this? Can we make use of both these modes, in person, online? So somewhere if that can help us continue with the help of both these modes, I feel it can help. It can help. It can help go on with the regularity. I don't know. As I said, I don't know if I've answered your question. I've just beaten around the bush a lot.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I think, I think having people do some sort of blend of online and in person is better than missing, basically.
Exactly. I think so. Somewhere I feel as teachers we have to adapt to this change, and because I've been, and I'm not saying you're doing that. Obviously, you're far more well versed with this medium, but I've been to some countries around here after the pandemic, and I've seen a group means it just falls into two groups. One group is for the online mode if it has worked for them. The other group is completely against it and saying that, oh, this is not the pure way, this is not how it should be done, this is never this would
You haven't heard the third group, which is a hybrid.
hybrid. Yeah.
You do both at once. Do you do that?
I've done that some places wherever the setup is available. I feel again the hybrid, again my thoughts, my view about the hybrid system is, so if let's say I'm coming to a place where it's going to happen in a hybrid mode, so my priority would be focusing on the people who are around there, and obviously those who are online with, I'll time to time I will go and check with the screen, but I will ask them to, if there is any doubt, means you can't expect the same amount of focus as I'm having.
That's right.
For the in-person people, they have made an effort, so I have to genuinely justify, or like I have to acknowledge their effort to come in person, so I will be focusing on that. I'm not saying you've been lazy. Maybe there are some genuine reasons, or perhaps you haven't been able to travel for whatever condition, but this is a uh, this is a facility that this system has provided now. So let's make use of it. If there's any doubt, if there's any question, of course, speak out and we can discuss and we can do that. But you can't expect me to constantly keep looking at you. And that is how I've balanced the hybrid mode so far. I've taught that hybrid system. And in some ways, like to just genuinely speak about what do you mean? What I mean to say is the financials of running an institute in a place. If some students, like if there are a limited number can come in person, and there is a decent number of students who can join online, so it works well to run the place as well. Because so as teacher, I feel there is a small adjustment we have to do. We have to, yes, time to time focus. We have to have the setup ready. So as a teacher, we have to adapt to that. But that adaptation, I think, is going to serve the students as well as to run the place better. I think it does work. I did mention that to one of the studios over here who were like strictly against it, saying, no, now that things have opened, we want to go completely in person only, the way it was. I said it will be not wise because the studios are struggling to, like, financially. It's a, as I'm sure you all know that so much better than me. I said this is a mode. If it's available, why not? We should go for it.
Yeah, great. All right. Any other?
I don't want to take any more of his time because I want to have him rest so when he comes here, he has all his energy.
That's right.
No, I'm happy to talk to you all. It's so nice to see you after a long time.
Yeah, we're so looking forward to having you here today. It's really wonderful.
Me too. Looking forward to being there.
Any other questions, you guys? Yeah.
I really appreciate sharing this time and space with us today. And we're so thrilled that you're going to
My pleasure.
be coming to New York at a time when we're moving into a former space, and yet it's a grand reopening, and it's
I
a
was so happy to hear that the other day when James connected. Yeah.
So you're going to help us get back to the future.
Yeah. And you're helping
Let's
us
see, yeah.
start here as well.
She's got this beautiful place there. I mean, it's just so beautiful. I've only seen it on virtual. You know, I haven't seen it. I've seen it hybrid. I haven't seen it in person, but it's
Hopefully you'll be up here sometime too. Great. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much, Uday. And
Pleasure.
so we'll